Hello guys, welcome back to the Scented Corner. Today's video is all about Lush Perfumes. Now, if you've been sleeping on Lush the way that I have for the very many years that Lush has been in existence, then please keep watching because I think that I might just change your mind. So Lush, I must admit, I was kind of hesitant to give a proper chance for a very long time. I was always kind of scared off by the strong scents coming from the boutiques, but I finally made some time to go by their flagship store on Oxford Circus here in London, and I had an amazing time just discovering all of their fragrances, and now I am a complete Lush convert. I really think there's something for everyone from Lush. All you have to do is, be open to essential oils and fragrances that are handmade, and there is something for absolutely everyone. What you really feel when you walk into the Lush stores today is this kind of 90s punkish revolt feel. Essentially, it was in 1995 that 6 friends came together to create Lush, and in their focus was creating products that were more natural, that were handmade, that used as little preservatives as possible. And this is also a cruelty-free vegan company. It's 10% employee owned. So all of these things really appeal to me as a person who is essentially voting with my money. Let's talk about some of the Lush fragrances that I think you absolutely need to try. Their bestseller is probably Karma, which is a patchouli, heady patchouli type of fragrance. I think that most people do associate Lush boutiques with Karma. I have found that a lot of Lush fragrances have become meditative for me because they are so high in essential oil content. And this is probably the first Lush fragrance that I ever got. I mean, years and years ago, I did have one of those fragrances that you smear on, like the solid perfumes from Lush. And that was because it was just a really nice, affordable way for me to get a perfume. So these are definitely more affordable fragrances, and considering that they are handmade, I think that their prices are quite reasonable. So Smuggler Soul is a lovely, lovely sandalwood fragrance with vetiver. This one is absolutely meditative for me. Like, I can spray this anytime and it's just going to make me feel calm. It's just a very different type of sandalwood fragrance compared to the ones that I have, because it is more woody, natural smelling. It doesn't go into like the creamy territory or become sweet or anything like that. It just is a nice, straightforward sandalwood with that vetiver oil as well. So yeah, really love that one. If you are a sandalwood lover, then check that one out, Smuggler Soul. I was really surprised to find that Lush actually works with oud. So they actually work with oud oils, and what is nice is that you can also read the back of them and see what kinds of absolutes they have in them. So there's jasmine absolute in here, osmanthus absolute, rose oil, yada yada yada, and it also says oud oil, so you know that it's in there. And this is Goddess, their oud scent. It's called Goddess, but I absolutely think that this is a unisex oud fragrance. And what I like about it is that it does not come off too heavy either. It has that oud in there, but it also has those floral aspects, and it just seems like a light oud for me. Maybe some people will disagree, but my nose likes a bold scent, and I would not call this the boldest of ouds at all. It also kind of comes off a little bit fresh when I first spray it on. I'm wearing this one today, and it does give off that citrusy floral vibe to begin with, and then it has that hint of oud. I would call it a hint of oud, but yeah. Love this one, Goddess. And I love these 30 ml bottles as well. They are so convenient, so easy to carry around. And yeah. Next, we have a vanilla fragrance, and this one I absolutely loved at first sniff. It is Lord of Misrule. They do have another vanilla called Vanillary, which is more of a straightforward vanilla. Personally, I like a vanilla with interest, but if you would like more of a vanilla, try out Vanillary. But Lord of Misrule is a spicy vanilla with patchouli, so this is really nice for fall weather, for snuggling up. It's like a nice snuggly vanilla, but again, with that interest. So yes, and I will say none of these fragrances are, either overly masculine or overly feminine. They really are nice unisex fragrances, and it depends on what your taste is, obviously. But yeah, Lord of Misrule, a no-brainer vanilla that I think anyone could pull off. If you like Diptyque's Eau de Gel like I do, then this is definitely one of those deeper, rich vanillas with interest. Next, we have a heady jasmine with rose. And I have been having a jasmine moment, just looking for the headiest of jasmines that give me that Queen of Sheba, you know, really cool effect. And Lust is the one that does it for me from Lush. Lust is so heady, and I think that depending on your chemistry, this could come off as plasticky, or it could come off as, you know, that really mysterious, sensual jasmine. This one, again, it depends on what you like. If you enjoy jasmine as a male, then by all means wear this jasmine. My other half loves this jasmine on me, and it's called Lust. Like, it's made to make your loins burn somehow. But yeah, it's so addictive. Like, I keep just wanting to smell this and spray this over and over again. But it's definitely one of those, I think, love or hate fragrances because it is so strong. It's just really all encompassing. But check that one out. Now I'm going to talk about fragrances from the Lush Perfume Library exclusives. So all of the bottles that have the white labels are fragrances that are available in all Lush boutiques, and then the ones with the black labels are the ones that are exclusive to the Perfume Library. So the Perfume Libraries are only in specific places in the world. There's one in Florence, there's one in London, of course, and a few other places, and that's where you can get these. I do think you can still get them online, you know, depending on whether or not they ship to you. But this one is Confetti. This one is inspired by the Italian weddings. This one is a violet lover's perfume for sure. They also have another violet called Curbside Violet, but this one brings out the right amount of violet for me. It's romantic. It has that Parma violet effect. If you like Insolence by Guerlain and fragrances like that, then you will definitely like this one. It's also sweet. I mean, it's called Confetti, so it has that kind of candied effect. I also feel a hint of woodiness in this one from the sandalwood. I don't get any rose in this personally, but there is. And yeah, this is a amazing romantic fragrance that just smells like Parma violets and yeah, brings you in a good mood. Now we have a sharper fragrance, which to me also is extremely meditative. It's not one that I would say that I would wear like on a hot summer's day, but it's one that I would wear when I'm in my room and I want to be, you know, centered, or midday if I want to feel centered. Again, due to the essential oils, it just has something calming on me. This one is with bergamot, with neroli, and with petit grain as well. So it is a very, very sharp citrus green fragrance. And it's called Nero. Did I say that? Nero meaning black. I'm actually not sure why it's called Nero, but they have some very interesting names for some of these fragrances. And I went in to do a treatment at the Lush Spa actually when I was there, and you could select a scent that you could use for your treatment. And I chose this one, Nero, because it was just, you know, very calming and grounding, and love it. The next one is Sappho. This one I've spoken about before. This is a nice glamorous ode to the Chanel No. 5s, except in Lush form. So it's really cool. It's a handmade version of that type of aldehydic scent. And you definitely have that mishmash of ingredients that are bold. You have the jasmine, you have the tobacco. It's warming, but it has a lot of character. It's a bold fragrance. And yeah, really like this one for you glamour perfume seekers. And again, I don't see a problem with a man wearing this fragrance at all, so try it out. Other popular fragrances that I do not have yet are Cardamom Coffee, which is scrumptious for those of you looking for a coffee fragrance. It has that wonderful spicy cardamom, and it dries down very nice and smooth. You get a lot of coffee to begin with, that harsher coffee scent, but then it smoothes out and it blends nicely. And then there's also Rentless, which I really want, which is some people get a cola bottle vibe from this one. I personally don't, but it is this sweet tonka with patchouli and labdanum, and it's spicy and rich. There's also Himalaya, which is absolutely delicious. This one is more on the gourmand side of things. It is a spicy, even richer version of Rentless. And then I have two larger bottles from the Perfume Library as well. This one, Salarium. Oh, if you are a vintage fragrance lover and you enjoy your oak moss, this is like oak moss that you can pull off in the summer. It really is amazing. It gives you that nostalgic vibe, like you're hanging out with your grandparents at the seaside. You're maybe sitting on their lap as a child. It really is a beautiful one, and I have been loving this one. Apparently there's a hint of oud in this one as well, and it's meant to be that salty fragrance, salty with rose and a little bit of oud, so it really is an interesting one, and then definitely with a lot of oak moss. Okay, so you probably know that I love my orange blossom by now. It's probably the floral that I have the most fragrances of. I just feel like you can't have enough orange blossoms. There's so many different ways of capturing the orange blossom, and nobody seems to have captured it in just one way. Does that make sense? Like, orange blossom is so difficult to capture that there's so many different renditions of it. Orange Blossom by Lush is a beauty. This one feels just like waxy. It feels waxy, like I'm the bee and I've landed on the orange blossom. And yes, it's a stunning fragrance. It manages to have this beautiful texture that I have not felt in other orange blossom fragrances. It's just very realistic. It's almost gooey, like I've, extracted the goo and I've made beeswax out of it. Love it. Been reaching for it a lot in the summer weather. Well, a lot of these are quite new, so yeah, still have a lot left, but going through it and loving it. For those of you who love lavender, you need to try this Twilight. This is a part of their body sprays, and they're just easy to basically spray on your body. You can also use them to spray around your house on linens and stuff. I use this one as a linen spray, and it is a beautiful lavender with tonka. It kind of gives me Jersey by Chanel vibes, and I just love it. It's so relaxing to have a nice lavender scent that is essential oil based, so you feel, like you're inhaling something that is not the most toxic on the spectrum of toxins. Yeah, I just really love this one. I wanted to give you a little heads up, even though it's a different form. These sprayers are also really cool, and they have lots of different scent options for these as well. So there you have it, my favorites from Lush and fragrances that you definitely need to try out from Lush. If you have been, avoiding Lush boutiques, please go in and give them a shot, especially if you are near a Lush perfume library, because they have so much to offer, and I really am excited. I was really excited trying all these different scents from Lush. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Please leave me all of your feedback down below. How do you feel about Lush fragrances? I just love their nice handmade approach to things, and I will see you in my next review. Bye.